Hey there! So, if you're tackling English, you know the animal kingdom is huge, and so is all the vocabulary that comes with it. But what if I told you there's a much smarter way to learn than just staring at endless lists of words? Let's dive right in, and I'll show you how to really master English animal vocabulary, not just memorize it.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll map out the animal kingdom to get our bearings. Then, we'll pack what I like to call an explorer's toolkit with some really powerful learning tricks. And finally, we're going to put it all to the test on a grand tour. Sound good?
You ever have this feeling you see a long list of words, lion, sheep, octopus, eagle, and your brain just kind of wants to shut down? It's totally normal, happens to pretty much every language learner. But don't worry, there is a much, much better way. And here's the secret. The real trick isn't about having a better memory, it's about being a better organizer. We need to stop thinking like we're cramming for a test and start thinking like an explorer who's mapping out a brand new world. So let's build that map.
Okay, first things first, let's get our expedition organized. We're going to take the entire animal kingdom and break it down into smaller, way more manageable groups. It's a method sometimes called chunking, and trust me, it's a game changer.
Let's start with some familiar faces, animals you might see on a farm or even in your home. Instead of learning random words, we're going to focus on just one group, domestic and farm animals. So we have cat, dog, cow, sheep. See? By putting them together like this, your brain already starts to see the connection. It just feels right, doesn't it? Okay, let's try another category. How about wild mammals? We're talking lion, tiger, elephant, and giraffe. As soon as you group them, your brain automatically paints a picture, right? You're thinking of a safari or a jungle, and that mental image links these words together, making them way easier to remember. And of course, we can do the exact same thing for sea creatures. We've got fish, shark, whale, dolphin. When you focus on one habitat at a time, you give the words a home, a context. It stops being some boring, random list and starts becoming a living, breathing world. So that's our first most important skill. Organize before you memorize. All right, so we've got our map all nice and organized. Now it's time to pack our Explorer's Toolkit. These are 6 really powerful strategies that will help you go way beyond just memorizing so you can actually use this vocabulary. So here are the 6 tools for our toolkit. First, linking words to pictures, not just translations. We'll keep grouping words because that's our foundation. Then we'll dive into idioms. That's where the language gets really fun. Watching documentaries is huge for hearing the words in action. You'll also practice by just describing what's around you. And finally, we'll zoom in on pronunciation. Let's take a closer look at a couple of these. Okay, let's look at tool number 3, using idioms. This is one of my favorites. When you learn an expression like let the cat out of the bag, you're not just memorizing the word cat. You're actually learning how the word lives and breathes inside the culture. It creates this super strong memory hook that a simple translation just can't compete with.
Now, for our 6th strategy, it's all about paying attention to those little details. This is a perfect example. In Persian, you might just use one word for both of these animals. But in English, there's a small but important difference. A turtle usually lives in the water, while a tortoise lives on land. Getting these little details right is what really takes your English from good to great.
Okay, map, check, toolkit, check. You know what that means? It's time for a field test. We're going to put everything together with a quick story. As I'm telling it, just try to picture all these animals in your head. Ready? So our story kicks off at a farm. First thing you hear is this loud rooster crowing, waking up all the chickens. And over in the field, there's a big cow just chewing on some grass, totally unbothered by a fluffy sheep and a little goat that are playfully running around. Next, they head into the wild section of the sanctuary. And suddenly, this huge, powerful roar echoes through the trees. It's the lion. And right in the next enclosure, there's this incredible tiger just pacing back and forth, a total blur of orange and black stripes. Walking a bit deeper into the woods, things get quieter. And if you look really carefully, you can spot a shy deer hiding behind a bush. Look up, and there's a quick little squirrel scrambling up a tree. And way, way up, circling in the sky, is a majestic eagle. After that, they go inside to the cool, dark aquarium. Whoa, a giant shark just glides right by the glass. And in the next tank, a super friendly dolphin leaps out of the water, splashing everybody. If you peek into that little cave over there,
you might see the tentacles of a very clever octopus. As they're leaving, they're all just buzzing about what an amazing day it was. I mean, they can't believe they saw a huge brown bear, a mysterious wolf hanging out at the edge of the woods, and even a funny little penguin waddling around on some rocks, all in one day.
So, what was the big deal with that story? Well, it all comes down to this. When you connect words to a context, whether it's a group, an idiom, or a story, they stop being just words on a page. They become part of an experience. And experiences, well, that's what our brains are actually built to remember. And now it's your turn. You've got the map, you've got the tools, so I have a question for you. What animal idiom are you going to try to use today? Maybe you'll be busy as a bee, or maybe you'll have a secret and decide not to let the cat out of the bag. Go on,